What's going on, everyone? This is Brew Ross coming from Elder Scrolls Online, and this is just going to be a quick review on Elder Scrolls, personal review. I know everyone's got different play styles and what they're looking for in games. So this is just based on my experience, which I've been gaming for over 20 years. I remember doing the original Dungeons and Dragons on my Commodore 64 and Tandy 1000. And fallen in love with just the whole fantasy dungeon games. And ever since then, I've done things like the original Diablo 1, or the original Diablo, and Diablo 1, 2, 3, all of them. And then I got into World of Warcraft shortly after release and played that, for 9 years, I guess. I've been playing Guild Wars 2 since launch, maxed out every single character or class on Guild Wars 2, along with World of Warcraft. I was planning on buying Elder Scrolls Online at release, and I remember just reading some mixed reviews on Elder Scrolls, and that's all I did was read the reviews. I didn't really do much more investigation on it, other than they told me to come, or I was invited to beta, but I didn't go. Because I simply just wanted to play the game when it released. And about 3 weeks ago, I just owned up and I went and bought the game Elder Scrolls. And truly, I'm so glad I did, because it truly is an amazing game. It really is. They are so different from World of Warcraft and Elder Scrolls, Guild Wars 2. I even maxed out a guy on Star Wars: The Old Republic, and all the games are totally different, and Elder Scrolls being the biggest different from all of them. It has got a different feel, combat style. It has got a different, exploration is awesome, because you could just be running and you can see a chest over here. And Guild Wars 2 kind of hit it off on the chests. You find the chest, you open it up, and you find a little bit better gear. Elder Scrolls stepped it up even more, because each chest is going to have some type of rare piece in it. And it's awesome to find a chest, because not only do you see it, you also have to lockpick it. So if you see one and you fail at the lockpick and there's a guy waiting on you to fail, he's going to open that chest up too. So, you've got to be, people can steal your chests, man. You got to get good at lockpicking, because there are chests pretty much everywhere. On the map here, you can see I'm actually just away from everybody. I'm right here. And, you just never know where you're going to see a chest at. You're never going to know what you're going to see. A lot of the cool things I love about the game are the solo dungeons. This game is more solo. You get more of a solo feel to this game, more so than like World of Warcraft, and especially Guild Wars 2, where you have group bosses and stuff like that throughout the world. This game is a little bit more independent. It's a more self-roaming game, and I love that, man. I really do. Guild Wars 2, I got so bored of just, seeing a big boss and everyone trying to kill him, This puts it more as more of a, person to person, so to speak, I guess. You get a little bit more into the game, because it is you versus them. The stories and quest lines are really good. There's this bear I've been trying to get, and I bet you they're going to kill him by the time I get over there. Who's fighting him? Yep. Get in there. Yeah, I got him. Alright, man, cool. I was kind of farming him, man. Anyway, you get more of a personal feel to the game, more than any MMO I've ever played. Now, I strictly played MMO games strictly for the PvP, and I, was really hardcore in PvP in World of Warcraft, and even Guild Wars 2. I did a lot of their rated arenas and got really big into the arena side of it. I never really enjoyed, of course, I never enjoyed leveling your guy to max level. I can honestly say I've never had more of a pleasant experience than leveling any character in any MMO. Um, Elder Scrolls has hit the nail, man. They really have. They have done a great job on personalizing the quest stories and just the exploration of the worlds. For the first time, I can say it's not a grindy feel when you're leveling. It feels really nice, and the combat is really nice as well. You know, it's a different style combat than like a World of Warcraft is, and even especially Guild Wars 2, very different. Um, but you've got really cool things, features like blocking, um, and you've got some really neat interrupts, blocks, dodges. You know, all these things you can stealth, and no one can see you, and then you can come out and attack. Very similar to Elder or Skyrim. Um, but one thing it took me a little bit to get used to is so I'm stunned here. I can't get out because I'm having stamina. One thing that took me a little bit to get used to is their targeting system. I still have mixed reviews on the targeting system because it's not like, hey, I'm targeting this guy and then I target the next person. It's kind of a lock on. I mean, yeah, you can switch back and forth. It took me a little bit to get used to it, but the more I'm playing it, the more I'm enjoying the way the targeting system is. Again, it did take me a little bit to get used to the targeting system. I hated crafting in all the MMOs I've ever played, and I've maxed out everyone in crafting. The crafting on Elder Scrolls is awesome, man. It's not very difficult. As far as like, hey, now I haven't gotten high in crafting, so maybe it's a lot different as I get higher, but right now it's a very nice feel to the crafting system. I love their crafting system. Seriously, it is by far the best crafting system I've ever experienced in any MMO. And another thing that I love is there's no auction house in the Elder Scrolls. What? No auction house? Yes, no auction house. I thought the same thing at first, but this game, they do have guild auction houses and things like that. That if you're in a guild, you can set up auction houses with your guild, but there is no main auction house. I love that idea simply for this fact that you can't go out and just buy all your gear. All this gear that I have on me, I either made it personally or I found it doing quests and killing mobs or dungeons or solo dungeons and stuff like that, which is all over. The skill system, I love the skill system in here. You got skill points and sky shards. So your skill points, you use your skill points on everything. On your world skills like soul traps. If you die, you can, lock your soul into a shard and you can res yourself. I love it. Depending on what kind of armor, I'm a Templar and I'm using light armor because I get a couple different buffs. I get a buff for my racial, which is my Breton, and I get a 15% increase in experience when wearing light armor. But the biggest thing here is the increase in max mana and also your experience gain increases max mana. And then this guy one here reduces the magic cost of spells. So Templars use a lot of magicka, which is like mana, and that's why I am rolling a Breton. So the more you use your armor, the higher it gets in level, and you can unlock passive abilities that make you, more stronger, such as increases spell resistance, increase magic recovery, also reduces magic cost of spells. So I will probably mix and match light armor with heavy armor, just so I can get some extra, bonuses. But it is very It's a very unique system they have because it lets you customize your style of play. You know, everyone has a different style of MMOing. They, you know, want to be stealth. They want to be, you know, a warrior. They want to be a tank. They want to be a healer. Elder Scrolls lets you be any of those with really any class, really. You know, you can roll whatever you want. If you're out and you do a quest and you find a epic or a rare, you know, very nice heavy armor, and you're a sorcerer, you're like, man, that's got some good stats on it. You can use it. You know, there's weapon abilities. I'm using my two-handed sword, but you can roll whatever you wanted to. If you were a Templar and wanted to go one hand and one shield, or even dual wield, you can do that as well. They've got some really cool features on, you know, the weapon skills. And, you know, Guild Wars 2, those of you that played it, you know, they kind of tell you what your weapon skills are. Elder Scrolls lets you pick what your weapon skills are, how you want to use them. And then last but not least, you have your class skills. This is Adriatic Spear, which is kind of like a DPS. Dawn's Wrath is, I think, more of a DPS defensive, and Restoration is, you know, healing, obviously. And I may roll my Templar straight as a 100% healer when I get to max level and when I get into the World PvP. I did go into World PvP, and it was awesome, man. It really was. It blows Guild Wars 2 away. There's no comparison in it. Guild Wars 2 seemed too clustered. You know, you would have these big Zergs, but the Zergs, you would feel lost in the Zerg. Elder Scrolls, you do not feel lost at all. You actually, even though you're in a Zerg, you are still kind of like right there in the battle. And I know with Guild Wars 2, every time I went into massive Zergs, I just felt like I just got lost in the Zerg, you know.
Keep your head down.
The World versus World
Bloodthorn
seems
attacked
to be
the town and took control
a
of the
lot
place.
nicer.
Something's definitely not right in the village.
And it just felt so much better than Guild Wars 2. Hands down, guys, I give this Elder Scrolls Online. Don't be, if you're thinking about buying the game, I'm telling you right now, you need to go get it. There are people everywhere. I always see somewhere. It's a very populated game. And matter of fact, new release numbers has Elder Scrolls subscriptions up over 1 million. And it has been growing here the past couple of months. And it seems to be continuing to grow. I'm so glad I didn't read some of the mixed reviews on it. Or I'm so glad I bought the game because of the mixed reviews. And by all means, if you're looking for a game that's going to give you plenty of solo questing and really PvE exploration, and then once you get to max level, opens up a whole new PvP world, you know, by all means, Elder Scrolls Online is for you. This is not Skyrim. This is a MMO. You know, don't get confused. A lot of the bad reviews came from people that wanted this to be like Skyrim. Although it has a very Skyrim feel, this is a MMO. You know, one of the cool things I love is you can actually become a werewolf. You can actually become a vampire. You can actually, the mount that you purchase and buy, when you buy your mount, you actually have to feed your mount. And when you feed your mount becomes faster. He has higher stamina, he can sprint longer, he can run faster. So many cool, neat things that they have done here. I have a level 17 sorcerer as well, and I am looking forward to continue to play this game and make some more characters as well. Elder Scrolls Online, is it for you? I think if you were a World of Warcraft or a Guild Wars 2 and like those things, I think you'll absolutely love Elder Scrolls. Personally, I think it blows both of them out of the water. Again, you can't compare this game to World of Warcraft because World of Warcraft has 10 plus years on Elder Scrolls. When World of Warcraft first came out, I remember all of the bugs, and I remember sitting here biting my fingernails and banging my head against the wall because of all the bugs that were going on with the game. I have not seen many bugs with Elder Scrolls, despite a few very small minor ones. I don't know if it is lag in my system, because I do live out in the country and my internet speed is not up to par. So, but sometimes when I charge, it seems like it gets locked in, and it may possibly be just my lag in the game, or like my speed. You know, I'm not 100% sure. But other than that, I have not seen any bugs at all. It's been very smooth and very smooth game. The customization, the graphics, the sound effects, the gameplay, the PvE. So far, I give it a 10 out of 10, hands down. If you're sitting here watching this video and you haven't gone and bought it yet, you need to go buy it. Elder Scrolls Online. Thanks for watching, guys. Everyone have a blessed Thanksgiving coming up, and happy holidays. Thank you. Bye. Go buy the game. I'm serious. I almost didn't, and I would have been missing out. Peace.